Hello guys, welcome back to Flourish Academy. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at more Excel tips, still using the student grading record system. And right now, we're going to be learning how to use COUNTIF and COUNTIFs. All right. So in this case, we want to count the number of students that have A's, and we want to count the number of students that have B, we want to count the number of students that have C. To do that, I'm going to create another kind of a category table right here. So I'm going to say I want to have a category, and I want to have the number, just kind of like for analysis. And I might just want to style a bit. I just want to style it a bit, something like let's just style it a bit, a little bit of styling. So I'm going to use a few color. Yeah, something like that. And for the categories, we have A, B, C, D, E, F. So this should be okay. And let's just look for a color that's alright. So don't mind this one. Alright, so we're gonna say the first one is A, B, C. No, we're not looking at category. Grade C. D, grade E, and grade F. Those are the last category that we're looking at, and then we're going to just take off this one. No fill. Now we want to count the number of A's in this grade. How do we do that? Now to do that, we're going to use the COUNTIF. To use the COUNTIF function to count the number of grade that has A, you go to this column. Remember, we've categorized it, and then we say what? Equals to, and then say COUNTIF, and then you open brackets. Now, what that will do, the syntax of COUNTIF is first going to take in the range, and then going to take in the category, okay, or the criteria. Now, in this case, the range that we're looking at is from cell E2 to cell E7. So we're going to go right there and say COUNTIF E2 to, that's colon sign, E7. Now you can see now all of this has been selected, but now you're going to separate it with a comma. Now what is the criteria? Now the criteria is simply by saying you're what? You're grading A, right? You're checking for A, you're counting for A, and then you close the brackets. Alright, so when you click on enter, it's going to count it for you that we have 4 A's in that range. Now count it and see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's how to use a COUNTIF statement, but that's not a perfect way of using the COUNTIF statement because we are add coding, we are add imputing there. We are imputing our scores. We are supposed to reference our data. So now how do we reference our data? We have a data right here that says, hey, we can reference that by saying what? F9, right? So now that's much better. And then we press enter. It still will do the same thing. So that's how I want us to, try and do this. Now the same thing for B also. We go again, COUNTIF statements. We're going to say equals to COUNTIF, open bracket. The range is what? E2 to E7, and then you close the bracket and you press enter. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Can you see what happened just here? Saying what? The argument is too small, alright? It's too few. So that means we didn't put into the second argument, and then we're going to do that right now. I'm going to say E7, and then separate with a comma, and then we say what? F10, because that is the grade that we want to look out for right now. And we'll press enter key, and then you see we have just 1B. Alright, so you can also fill the remaining one, but you have to, okay? Automatically, it does that for us. Can you see? F11, that's for C. And then for D, we have no student that has a D, okay? And that's 0. And then for F, we have 0. And then for E, we have 0. Now, that is how to use a COUNTIF statement. Alright, That's how to use a COUNTIF statement. What about COUNTIFs? Now for COUNTIFs, it's kind of like a conjunction of two if statements. So in a regular programming language, there's something we call AND function. It's a logical statement. It compares two conditional statements together. All right, let me say, for example, in Python, in any programming language, you have AND statement. That is to say, we have the if condition, and then use the AND statement, another if condition. And now you check if this condition is true, and this condition is true, then you give us the value. And that is exactly what Excel function is doing with the COUNTIFs. It's going to compare two count statements, it's going to compare COUNTIF statements and then give you a decision. But in this case now, we're going to create one more label, that's gender, and then we're going to just give them random names. So this one is female, this one is male, this one is female, female, male, and male. Now, we want to count the number of male that has A. That's different. We're not just counting the number of A's this time around. We're counting the number of male students that has A. How do we do that? Now, category and so we're going to have male. Now for male, we're going to have A, B, C, D, E, and F. You see what I'm doing? Alright, so for the category though, we can merge this together, center. Yeah, so kind of like analysis. Okay, you can also, just put a different color, different paint color or something. Just make it a little bit light. And we go again for female that has A, B, C, D, E, and F. Alright, I'm going to use color coding, different color coding for this one. I'm still going to go with a shade of blue. No, well, auto filling. What are we doing? A different shade of blue. Yeah, something like that. And we're going to take, I just want to do this one. You can actually increase the speed if you feel this is way too slow for you. Yeah, that's better. Alright, so now let's count. Now we're using the COUNTIF statement, and we're going to start with an equals to sign. Okay, equals to sign, COUNTIFs, and then remember the S, combination of two if statements or two or more if statements. We want to check the number of males that have A. So we're going to open the brackets, and then we're starting with the range. I'm going to be fast right now, so it's going to be E2 to E7, and then separate, and then say what we're looking at. J9, yeah, that's A. That's the first condition, and then we're going to check another criteria again that says what, F2 to F7, and then this time around we're checking if it's male or female, so we're going to use what, this cell right there as male, that's I9, exactly. Now you can close and then press enter. Now you can see this is true. Now let's count the number of males that have A. Carefully, now this is male, this is A, that's 1. That's another male, but this is B, so we're not going to count that. And this is male, another A, so that's 2. So can you see the way we're analyzing this right now? You can also use this for your analysis. It depends on what you want to use Excel for, but this is really beautiful, okay? Now we're going to do the same for B, C, D. Let's check if Excel is that intelligent to, assume for us what we're going to do. Now let's check it out. 0, 0, 0. Now let's check if that is what we're looking at. No, that's it. Because this is relative value. Yeah, that will take me to relative and absolute value. I think I will do that in the next video. For now, I'm just going to take off that condition and then hard code it by myself. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm going to tell you why I gave us 0 in the next tutorial. But for now, let's just hard code it by ourselves. All right, we're going to go again, equals to count ifs, open the brackets. I'm going to be really fast right now. So E2 to E7, comma, we're looking at this time around B, right? So that's going to be J10, right? So separate the value again. Now we're checking F2 to F7, comma, I9. So using the same value. And then you close the brackets and then press enter. So that's one. All right. So this is how to use COUNTIFs and COUNTIF in Excel. In the next tutorial, we're going to be looking at how to use absolute and relative value. Insert absolute value to make sure that our COUNTIF statement is functioning very well. So we're going to, in the next tutorial, we're going to be using absolute values to solve this category of function. But for now, I hope you understand how to use COUNTIF in COUNTIF statements. Until the next class, stay blessed and keep flourishing. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment in the comment section below for more Excel tips. Okay, bye.